To anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Joey Faur. I will be teaching Hilchot De'ot Be'ezrat Hashem. So we will start Hilchot De'ot Perek Aleph Halacha Aleph. Second, I prefer read the Misvot beforehand. The Rambam before every set of halachot brings the Misvot. I don't know if this is built in, but I do know that it's important to read beforehand. So yesh bichlalan achat asrei misvot, hamesh misvot aseh, v'shesh misvot lo ta'aseh. So there are 11 misvot, 5 aseh, 6 lo ta'aseh, 5 that are active misvot, and 6 that are things not to do. V'zehu piratan lehiddamot b'drachav, to be like the derachim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The second is lehiddabek b'yode'av, to have a relation, to have a connection with yode'av of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In other words, the hachamim. Le'ehobet re'im, to love one's fellow brethren. The fourth one is le'ehobet hagerim, to like the proselytes, to love the proselytes, the gerim, those who are from a foreign land. Shelo lisno achim, to not hate one's fellow brethren. That's a mitzvah. Lo ta'aseh le'ochiach, to be able to rebuke somebody who does something wrong is a mitzvah. Shelo lehalbin panim, not to embarrass somebody else. Shelo la'anot amlelim, not to torment or people that are amlelim, people that are in a low situation in life, such as orphans and widows. Shelo lahaloch rachil, not to speak lashon hara, not to speak bad about others. Shelo linkom, not to take revenge on others. And shelo lintor, lo lintor, netira and nekama are two separate things. It says lo tikom lo titor b'nei amecha. Many people think it's one because it says in the same pasuk. But nekama is taking active. Will you actively do something against somebody? Netira is something else. Netira is somebody did something bad to me. So, for example, he didn't want to lend me his his drill. I needed a drill. He didn't want to lend it to me, and I keep it in my heart. And then when he gives me back, when I need a drill from him, when he needs a drill from me, I give it to him and I say, "Hey, buddy, the same way you didn't give it to me, but I'm giving it to you." That's netira, okay? But it's specifically keeping in the heart. Now let's start Hilchot De'ot. So Perek Aleph. So what are De'ot? The book is Sefer Hamadda, okay, which is a book, the first book of the Mishne Tora, which deals with misvot that are intellectual misvot, and not only intellectual misvot, those misvot, those things that a person needs to know in order to properly do all the other misvot. If I don't know Sefer Hamadda, if I don't know the things in Sefer Hamadda, the basic axioms of the Torah, such that are seen in Hilchot Yesodat Torah and Hilchot De'ot and Hilchot Talmud Torah, I don't know these things, I cannot properly do the precepts of the Torah in their fullest, in their best way. So, Perek Aleph Halacha Aleph. De'ot harbe yesh lechol echad ve'echad mibnei adam. The word De'ot, what does it mean? Has the actual, if you translate it, it means perspectives or outlooks. But in this context, it means personality traits. So many people have different personality traits, but why is it the same word? Why is the word De'ot used for perspectives and outlooks as well as personality traits? Because those two things are directly connected one to another. If a person has bad perspectives on things, not correct perspectives, moreover, it'll directly affect the way he acts, the way his personality is, and vice versa. So people have different perspectives and different personality traits. Here is personality traits. And every de'ah is different. Every person has different traits than the other. There's somebody that has a lot of anger in his heart, and he's always angry as a result. There's somebody who he does not feel an ounce of anger. He doesn't have any anger in his heart, and as a result, he never gets angry. And if he does get angry, this person, he will not be angry, he'll be angry once in a few years. ויש אדם שהוא גבה הלב ביותר. There's somebody who is very, very, he has a lot of ga'ava. He has a lot of, a second. Yeah, somebody who is very, very full of himself, considers himself to be better than others, and somebody else who is somebody who has a lot of humility. Somebody with a lot of lust and temptation. And it seems here like Rambam is talking specifically about sexual temptations. I take it back. He's talking tahor guf beyoter, so and there's somebody who is pure bodied, and he doesn't have the slightest want or lust for even the smallest things that a body needs. This is a general type of personality. So see Harabam is talking, he's giving us the different outlooks and personalities that different people have as the beginning of Hilchot De'ot, Halacha Bet. V'yesh ba'al nefesh rechava, shelo tisba' nafsho mikol mamon ha'olam. There is somebody who has temptation specifically for money and for being in, the more money and more money and more money and wealth. As it says in the book of Kohelet, that who loves money will not get satisfied from money. And there's somebody that he has no temptation for the slightest bit of wealth, and even what he does need, even that wealth, that little money that he does need, that little financial stability which he does need, he doesn't really care about. It doesn't matter to him. And there's certain types of people that they're misagifim asmam bera'av v'kobesim al yadam. They don't mind starving themselves. They will not spend a penny. He'll not eat from his own money. Even in the biggest sa'ar, it'll be difficult for him to spend a single penny on himself. On the other hand, you have people, they don't mind spending tons of money. They have money, they spend it, they waste it. Wasteful human beings. Lida'ato, of course, is lida'ato. In his perspective, it's not a big deal to waste his money. And as was illustrated here are the rest of the traits and qualities of people. And then he brings even more. Just like somebody who is holel, like milshon holelut, always happy and joking. Ve'onen, onen, we have when somebody loses somebody, that person is called onen. But here it's a more general term, talking about somebody who is always sad and depressed, and this is part of his personality. V'chilai v'shua, somebody who likes spending money, and somebody who does not, who's doesn't want to spend any money, doesn't want to spend a penny. V'achzari v'rahman, somebody who is merciful, somebody who is cruel, and somebody who is merciful. V'rach leva ve'amislev, and somebody who's brave, and somebody who is very, very scared, and somebody who is brave. So here Harambam brought us, he started here showing us, illustrating all the many types of de'ot, psychological, different outlooks of people, different personalities, and through the examples he brought were opposites, of course. He gave us different opposite examples, and using these examples, we can look at all the other personality traits of other people in life. You have many, many, many. It's a very wide range of traits and qualities, and everybody has his own different ones. Now, halakha dalet. ויש בין כל דעה ודעה רחוקה ממנה בקצה האחר דעות בינוניות זו רחוקה מזו. And in every da'ah, in other words, every trait, for example, somebody who is spentative and somebody who doesn't want to spend any money, okay, stingy. Because דעות בינוניות זו רחוקה מזו. We have average traits. In other words, let's say there's so we have on one side, the guy who's overspentative, one extreme. On the other extreme, we have somebody who doesn't want to spend any money, who's super stingy. And in these de'ot, meaning the stingy, the spentative, they are the average. So you could have somebody who is stingy, but in average way. You could have somebody who is spentative, but in an average way. Okay? וכל הדעות, יש מהן דעות שהן לאדם מתחילת בריאתו לפי טבע גופו. And all these traits, meaning and all traits, exist in different people, okay? And every person has certain traits which he is born with, meaning that his לפי טבע גופו, that by the body he was given from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he has a propensity to do certain things in a certain way. Okay? But on the other hand, ויש מהן דעות שטבעו של האדם זה מכוון ועתיד לקבל אותם. On the other hand, there are certain behavioral qualities which a person may have if properly, if he cultivates himself to this da'ah. Doesn't have to be a good da'ah or a bad da'ah. So he let's say somebody who has a good memory. Okay, I'll give an example. Somebody who has a good memory, he could be very smart, he could learn a lot, he could become, learn, I don't know, get a good degree in history and philosophy, great memory, if he cultivates it. But if he doesn't cultivate it, it won't do anything to him. On the other hand, there are certain qualities which a person is not born with. But later on in life, with life, he develops these certain qualities either from the outside people, from things from the outside which penetrate his psyche, or he somehow, through his own, using his own thoughts, reached these certain qualities. Right? But, and this is about so there's qualities that a person, through some sort of thought that went into his head, or libo, or that he heard that this da'ah is good. Oh, you say it's good to, I don't know, to save all your money as a kid. Okay, I don't know. It's good to save money. So people, it's good to save money. Person's going to save money. Yeah. Certain, and he made himself. He cultivated this quality on his own until it became a quality that was ingrained in his psyche. הלכה ה' שני כסבות הרחוקות זו מזו שבכל דעה ודעה אינן דרך טובה. Every quality, every trait has an extreme, as we just saw in the previous halachot. And these extremes, okay, these shene kesavot, are not good. They're not the right path in which one has to go. ואין ראוי לו לאדם ללכת בהם. And a person should not go in these paths. ולא ללמדן לעצמו. And not teach himself these certain paths, these certain qualities. So we brought many examples. Somebody who is super stingy, okay, is on one extreme, stingy, or somebody who's super speculative. Okay, these are two extremes, and both these extremes are bad. Okay? But if somebody found that he has one of these qualities, or that he has a propensity for one of these qualities, or that he already he had the propensity for one of these qualities, these extreme qualities, which are not good, and he ended up turning himself into somebody who has these qualities, and did these bad things, meaning he acted in these bad traits. He must bring himself back to the right path, which is the path of righteousness, and it's the straight path, and by straight Haramba means the right path in which to go. Okay, halakha vav. Haderech hayeshara. What is this right path? What is the straight path? Himida benonit shebechol de'ah ve'de'ah. It's the average in between each of these extremes. And Harambam will explain. Mikol de'ot sheyesh la'adam. In between the different qualities that people have. Vehi hade'ah shehi rechoka mishnei hakesavot rechok shaveh. And this the quality which is the right quality, meaning the good de'ah to have, the good behavioral habits which a person should make himself have, teach himself to have, is the one in between these extremes, in a same way, from same distance from each extreme. He's in the middle of the two extremes. He's not close to one extreme than he is to the other. He's as close, he's as far and as close to each extreme as he is the other. Right? ולפיכך ציוו חכמים הראשונים שיהיה אדם שם דעותיו תמיד. And because of this, in other words, because people have a propensity for certain qualities, people have certain qualities, everybody is different, okay? Everybody has different qualities which he has to work on, which he's better at, which he's worse at, okay? Chachamim sivu, they said, they made it a law that that a person must always look into himself and figure out which qualities he has. What are his qualities? In other words, to know what I have in myself that I need to fix, know what my qualities are. And we see this a lot in Masechet Avot, okay? And by the way, Harambam, he wrote a Pirush on Masechet Avot, but he also wrote a fantastic Hakdama on Masechet Avot, which I think is very complementary to Hilchot De'ot. It's called Shemona Perakim, in which he analyzes the human psyche and he explains how the human psyche works. I think in certain points it's even in more depth than here, because in Hilchot De'ot, what he does is he gives you the bottom line, what you need to do. But, you know, at a certain, he gives you, tries to summarize the De'ot as much as possible. However, in Shemona Perakim, he gets more in depth. So if anybody really wants to delve into this subject, really look at Shemona Perakim. It's fantastic, and definitely be sure to look at Pirush Harambam from Masechet Avot. So Chachamim Harishonim, meaning the Chachmei Talmud and the Tanaim, they said that person needs to always look into himself, to Mesha'er otan umchaven otan b'derech ha'em Satan, always needs to look at, make sure his qualities are in the middle, which is obviously the right path, as Harambam has said, kedei sheyeh shalem. So a person could be shalem. In other words, not full. Person could be completely in the right way. Okay? I mean, shalem means complete, but complete in the sense of personal habits and behavior and derech eres and how we act one to another and make sure your traits are the right traits. Halacha Zayin. Now Harambam is going to tell us in a relatively short way, okay, how a person can work on these traits, how a person can fix these traits. Kesar. Lo yehe ba'al hema noach lichos ve'lo kemet she'eno margish ela benoni. So he's giving us an example to what he means by the middle of the two extremes. So you shouldn't be very angry, full of anger inside you, okay? Always, you know, very easily ticked. Ve'lo chamet she'eno margish, and not like a dead person who doesn't feel anything. You know, you could hit him, you could smack him. If you get hit, turn the other cheek, right? No, that's not good. Ela benoni. In between the two. Okay? Lo yichos ela al davar gadol sheraui lichos alav kidei shelo ye'aseh kayoseh bo pa'am acheret. A person, the right way in which he should go, the right de'ah he should have, is such that he's not angry. He's not always angry, but he gets angry at important things, things which, if he wouldn't get angry, these bad things would happen to him again and again. For instance, if somebody rips somebody off in business, somebody causes somebody monetary, big problems in business, and I don't get angry at him, okay, and I just let it go and I let make it like nothing happened. This is bad. He's going to do it again and again to me. I will be somebody that you could rip off. I'll be a nobody. So you must make sure to do it in the right amount, okay? Only on very, very important things. וכן, הלכה ח', וכן לא יתאווה אלא לדברים שהגוף צריך להם, ואי אפשר לחיות בזולתם. Now, people have temptations. People want things. People have lust. So don't be tempted, okay? Don't want אלא דברים שהגוף צריך להם. You should want only the things which the body needs. What are those things? Do you need a Ferrari? I don't know. I don't think so. ואי אפשר לחיות בזולתן, right? Only things that you wouldn't be able to live without. Okay? כעניין שנאמר צדיק אוכל לשובע נפשו. As it says in the book of Mishle, a tzaddik, a righteous man, eats only to fill up, to satisfy his physical needs. וכן לא יהיה עמל בעסקו אלא להשיג דבר שצריך לו לחיי שעה. כעניין שנאמר טוב מעט לצדיק. And you shouldn't work, okay, this is how Rambam is putting it, you shouldn't work אלא להשיג דבר שצריך לו לחיי שעה. Only for things that you need for immediately use, okay, for your immediate needs. כעניין שנאמר טוב מעט לצדיק, it's as it says in the book of Tehillim, only a little is good for the tzaddik, or good a little is for the tzaddik. Now, I'm just going to note on this. He's not saying to not quit your job and work in McDonald's twice a week, because that's all that's enough to live on, and live on a park bench or in a tent in Central Park with your family, and just eat small eat some bread every day. That's not what he means. Okay, obviously a person must work and have enough money to live on in a good way. I would even say, and I'm not sure about this, that based on the average of the day of the time and place that you're in. So if I live in Beverly Hills, okay, I don't know, maybe Beverly Hills is the best place to live in, according to Harambam at a certain level. But it doesn't matter. If I live in a very wealthy place and I live in a tent in the street there, it's obviously lo matim. It's not doesn't make sense to be like that. I have to be at the average. But this is for me. Maybe somebody will disagree with me. I have no problem with that. And now on the other hand, somebody shouldn't be shouldn't just be giving out, pouring his money, throwing his money, bags of money off buildings. You have to, it's true that there's a mitzvah to give, but there's according to the halacha, you're not supposed to give more than a fifth. And if you give more than a fifth, you're pazran. And let's say you need to, somebody asks you for, to lend him money. Don't just lend all your wealth. Don't do that. It's a mistake. Now Rambam goes to another quality. Don't be somebody who is always laughing and happy and making jokes all the time. On the other hand, don't be on the other extreme, which is sad and depressed. Rather, he should be happy, okay, and binachat, okay, well balanced, and have a good demeanor. Okay, have a good demeanor. In other words, be well balanced, okay, average, and not somebody who's now jumping in the street, dancing and giving out. Doesn't matter. People who live in Israel know what I'm talking about. Somebody who's average, it's nice. It's nice you could speak to him. He's a person well mannered. That's the way you should be. And so, on this way, the rest of your da'ot, the rest of your traits, traits. I like that. And this path is the path of the Hachamim. In other words, the path of the Talmidei Hachamim. And a little note on that. It's so important, especially for a Hacham. It's important for everybody to work on their Hilchot De'ot, on their personal traits and the way they act and behavioral qualities. However, a Hacham who represents the entire nation, who represents the Torah, he has to make sure that his derech eretz is even higher. And unfortunately, we've seen and I'm not pointing any fingers at anyone, but unfortunately we've seen, um, hachamim, people who are big tzaddikim and whatever, or supposedly, and when it comes to behavior, that's another story. No, derech eres isn't something so important, right? So no, derech eres is extremely important. It's something which everybody has to work on, and especially the hachamim, and that's why it's the derech of the hachamim. כל אדם להלכת ט', כל אדם שדעותיו כולן דעות בינוניות ממוסעות נקרא חכם. So anybody who all of his qualities and habits, okay, are those which are in the middle, okay, average ones, נקרא חכם, will be called a חכם. Obviously, he'll be called a hacham as long as he not only has the right values, as long as he also continues, does all the mitzvot, and so on and so forth. However, there's hacham. He's somebody who makes sure that all his personal, that his behavior is in the middle. But then there's somebody who he sees that he has a propensity for a certain behavior, okay, which is a bad one. And he goes to the middle. But he understands that if he just stays in the middle, he'll end up falling back to the wrong extreme. So this person, what does he do? He moves himself just a tad bit to the less bad extreme, to that extreme which is less bad for him. Everybody has the extreme which is bad for him or less bad for him. It's an individual thing. However, there are some extremes which are completely bad. Harambam will talk about that. But a Hasid, so a Hakam, he just is in the middle. But a Hasid, he makes sure to go just a tad bit. And it's a very fine line, and it's not something which I feel like could defined in a short shiur like this. Just a tad bit to the other side. And using a Yehuda Halevi, which was a little bit different than Harambam in certain things, but I think in this thing he explains it nicely. A Hasid is somebody, a Hacham is somebody who gets rid of the bad quality, okay, completely, but he doesn't get rid of what causes the bad quality completely. In other words, if somebody loves McDonald's cheeseburgers, okay, and passes by McDonald's and he ate the cheeseburger, did the avera. So if he's a Hacham, what does he do? He'll just stop going to that same place where the McDonald's is. That's a Hacham. But a Hasid, and this is according to the Yehuda Halevi, again, but a Hasid, he'll eliminate that want completely. He has no lust, no temptation for a cheeseburger. Nothing. He could pass by the McDonald's and it won't matter to him. Okay, those are the two things. Obviously, Tzarich Ayun, this could be a 2-hour shiur. Okay? Now, Kesad, Halachayot. Mishi יתרחק מגובה הלב עד כיסא האחרון וישף על רוח ביותר נקרא חסיד. Now, Rambam is bringing us an example which is one of the few things which a person needs to go to the extreme and try to keep more to the extreme than in the middle. Okay? Somebody who goes away from Gova Lev, from being full of himself and Latzad Aharon, to the complete other extreme, okay, and has humility, will be called a Hasid. However, this is midat Hasidut. So in the idea of in regard to humility and being good gevah halev, and being somebody who's always so full of himself and sure that he's God's best creation, okay, this person. So a person who goes completely to the other side of Shefal Ruach is called a Hasid. Now this is an interesting example because he's going to the extreme, okay, yet he's still Hasid. However, anava, okay, which is the proper humility, which says Vayish Moshe anav me'od. So Moshe was anav me'od. We could just have the right amount of humility, and that's also something which can be discussed in a whole series of classes. This will be called a Hacham. And this is the midah of Chokhmah. Okay, very difficult to define what the difference between Hacham and Hasid is. Again, I'm just going to keep it at this. And on this path are the rest of the deot. Okay, in other words, all the qualities have the middle and have a little below the middle. Harambam brought an example of anava. Anava is the one quality, or one of the qualities, which it's better to just go more. It's better to be much closer, relatively more closer to the extreme of anava than to ga'ava. Okay. ועל דרך זו שער כל דבר. החסידים הראשונים היו מוטים דעות שלהם בדרך האמצעית כנגד שתי הכיסאות. And חכמים, and the חסידים הראשונים, in other words, the real חסידים, I don't need to get into that, what a real Hasid is. I don't think a real Hasid has to do with how you dress, but that's something, I'll leave that for a different thing. So they used to always make sure to be in the right, a little bit farther from the wrong extreme, the extreme that's more bad. There are certain qualities which you're supposed to push a little bit this way to one extreme, certain to the other extreme. And this is what we call lifnim mishurat hadin. Very interesting. So shurat hadin, okay, we have a line which is called the shurat hadin. Okay, imagine a ledge or some sort of a line drawn on a screen. Okay, I wish I had my art thing here. I would draw it on the computer. Okay, and we have Shurat Hadin, which is the line, and Lifnim Shurat Hadin is just below the line, just on the side of the line, not in the middle, not to here. I mean, not too much, just a little bit. Now halacha yod aleph umsuvin anu lalechet b'derachim elu habenונים, and it's a mitzvah to go on these derachim. Vehem haderachim hatovim v'yesharim, and these are the right and correct paths. Shneimar v'halachta b'derachav. It says in Sefer Devarim, mamash mitzvah v'halachta b'derachav, and go in his ways, in the ways of Hashem. Of course, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, we cannot really know his ways, but the little that we know, or the little that Hachamim tell us, or that I'm just going to leave it at that we're supposed to do. And this is how it was taught in this mitzvah. Mahu nikra hanun, afatah hanun. It says, Adonai, Adonai, il rachum v'hanun, erech hapayim v'rav chesed v'emet, noseh chesed la'afim noseh avon fish v'chata v'nakeh. Okay, so the same way Hashem is called Hanun, you also must be Hanun. Mahu nikra rachum, the same way Hashem is called merciful, you must also be merciful. Obviously, the fact that Hashem is called merciful, the mercy that Hashem has is not connected to the mercy that we have, but it's Diberat Torah K'lshon Bnei Adam. It's so to speak, so Bnei Adam can understand a little. The Torah used the word Rahum, and there's a lot more depth there. Mahu nikra kadosh, afatah kadosh. Same way Hashem is nikra kadosh, you must also be kadosh. Kadosh is to be kadosh means to be holy, but it doesn't. I don't like using the word holy. I would say to be, to keep to the values of the Torah. Kedoshim to you, kadosh ani. Keep to the values of the Torah. That's the kedusha. And on this way, the Nevi'im gave Hashem kinuyim, certain attributed certain things to Hashem. In this way, obviously, the more you attribute to Hashem, actually, the more chas v'shalom you're taking away. So again, and this is something which also could be taught in a separate place. Erech hapayim v'rav chesed tzadik v'yashar v'tamim v'gibor v'chazak v'chayoseh bahen. I'm not going to explain these. These are all different attributes. Lehodia she'elu derachim tovim v'sharim. To teach us, they would call Hashem certain things, to teach us that these are the right ways in which we should go. And we should, people in general, should try to go in these paths as much as we can, of course, the way Hachamim say, and not the way we think. You see, it says in the Torah to be Rahum, so now I'm not gonna shoot the terrorist who just killed 25 people because I have to be Rahum, I have to have mercy. That's not mercy. So, of course, there is what Hachamim tell us mercy is, and again, that goes to the extremes. Don't be too much to one extreme, because you'll end up making a mistake. And how could one make himself have these certain traits? You have something you want to change, you have a certain quality, and you want to be closer to the other extreme of the quality. Do it once and again and again, okay? Okay? And keep acting on that quality that you want to do. Until this certain quality, behavioral quality, becomes easy to you, okay? And it becomes ingrained in your nefesh, in your system, in the way you act. Now I'm just going to say, habits are something very, very difficult to break. But what he's saying here is something else. I mean, you said you have a bad habit, you want to switch it. So there's two ways to look at it. You could look at the bad habit. I'm uprooting a habit. This is a very difficult thing to do. Or you could look at it, I'm ingraining a new habit into myself, okay? By ingraining the new habit, I'm as well uprooting a certain bad habit, whether I like it or not. But when you think of it that way, it becomes also psychologically much easier to do. Now, הלכה י"ג, ולפי שהשמות האלו שנקרא בהן היוסר הן הדרך הבינונית שאנו חייבים ללכת בה, נקראת זאת דרך השם. And because these names which were given to Hashem, these attributes which were given to Hashem, are the derech habinonit, meaning are the right path, the middle path that we spoke about. This derech, this path is called derech Hashem, the path of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is the path which Abraham taught his children. As it says in the pasuk, as I knew, one second, for I knew him that he will command his children and his household after him that they shall keep the way of Hashem. Okay? וההולך בדרך זו מביא טובה וברכה לעצמו שנאמר למען הביא אדוני על אברהם את אשר דבר עליו. And somebody who goes in this way, in these right paths which we just spoke about in this chapter, in other words, the middle, the correct path, and of course we will talk about this in all of Hilchot De'ot. This is the point of this set of halachot. He will bring on himself a beracha, as it says in the pasuk, Lema'an, as the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken concerning him. I think Be'ezrat Hashem more tomorrow. Baruch Adonai le'olam.
Joey, may I just add something, Joey?
Of course.
This is Yaakov. So one thing to summarize, this entire perek, this entire chapter describes one mitzvah, which is to try to emulate the ways of God. And there is one thing we know about God, and that is that he cannot be known. He cannot be pinpointed. And so how does that bring us to having the balanced traits, the balanced attitudes? Because what defines the balanced attitudes, the middle, what defines the middle, the center, is that it's undefined. It's not any of the extremes. So all the attributes we have about God, Rahum, Hanun, Rechapayim, Rav Hesed, by definition, must be not extremes. They must be something that is neither on one end or the other, because those are definitions. And we want to not define God. If he were one of the extremes, if he were, let's say, extremely pazran, like we said before, which is one of the extremes of the attributes, that would be defining him in the sense that it's as if almost God will be forced to be mefazer all the time, to be giving too much. So I think that that's an important point of this chapter in understanding why lehidamot bidrachav v'halachta bidrachav, this mitzvah which this chapter is defining, means in essence to have balanced traits.
Thank you very much. Very, very nice, Yaakov. Thank you. Hazak Baruch, and more than Hashem.